the sheriff who answered a call from a missing town. In the United States, thousands of small towns quietly fade from a map. Economic collapse, mine closures, floods – there are always official reasons. But some places didn't simply die, they were erased. One of them was Greystone Valley, a mountain town in Colorado where, in the summer of 1998, 148 people disappeared. No bodies, no witnesses, no explanations. Every file connected to the case vanished. Every report destroyed. Everyone who worked on it transferred or pushed into early retirement. Except for one man, Sheriff Daniel Hargrig, who lost his young deputy there, 28-year-old Carter Miller. 21 years passed. 1. A call that shouldn't exist. 2:43 a.m. The department was still. A small hiss cracked through the old radio on Hargrig's desk, one that should have been locked in the evidence room, not sitting in his office. He looked up. The signal ID flashed. Unit 3A27. Deputy Miller's call sign. A dead call sign. Then a voice. Weak, shaking but undeniably human. "This is Deputy Miller. I need backup. They're back in the town. Don't let them take me too." A pause. "Sheriff, if you hear me, don't come alone." Hargrig froze. In 1998, Miller's last words were almost identical. "They're in the fog. God, they're in every house." And now, again. 2. The road that shouldn't be there. Hargrig didn't wake the team. He knew, officially, the town didn't exist. No one would authorize a return. He grabbed his body cam, spare batteries, an old county map, and drove. When he turned onto the abandoned S-17 highway, the one reportedly buried in a massive landslide 20 years ago, Hargrig stopped breathing for a moment. The road was pristine. No boulders, no collapsed asphalt, not even dust. It looked freshly paved. The signs were standing straight, like someone rebuilt the road in the dead of night and erased all traces of the work. He drove for 40 minutes, silent. The closer he got, the more the radio filled with faint sounds, not voices, but whispers, too even, too synchronized to be human. 3. The town with yellow windows. At 3:21 a.m., Hargrig saw lights. Greystone Valley stood in front of him, intact as if the landslide never happened. The houses weren't just standing, they looked new, painted, clean, maintained. Streetlights glowed, power lines hummed. Warm, yellow light shone from every window. But there were no people, not a shadow, not a footstep, nothing but the fog weaving between the houses, like it belonged more than the people ever had. Hargrig stepped out of the car, turned on his body cam, and felt something strange. Warmth. Like dozens of people were standing around him, alive, breathing, invisible. 4. The waiting patrol car. In the town square, beside the old fountain, stood a patrol car, a 1997 Ford Crown Victoria. Miller's unit. Same number, same decals, same dent in the hood. The driver's door was open. On the seat lay a map of the town with several houses circled in red. On the dashboard, a radio whispering weakly. "Sheriff? Are you there? Don't let them hear you." The interior was still warm, as if someone had just stepped out. 5. The station. The police station looked untouched by time. Coffee mugs on desks, chairs half pushed in, paperwork scattered exactly where it had been left. Missing person flyers lined the wall, 148 faces staring at Hargrig on perfectly white paper. Printed yesterday. On Miller's desk sat his badge, spotless, cold to the touch. Beside it, his duty notebook. He opened to the first page. Written in shaky pen, "I'm not alone. They hide in the fog. They copy sounds. If you hear your own voice, run." A chill slid down Hargrig's spine. Then he heard it. His own voice behind him. "Sheriff, turn around." But he hadn't spoken. He turned his flashlight on. At the end of the hallway stood a figure. A human shape wearing a deputy's uniform. Miller's uniform. The figure stared straight at him. Motionless. Silent. He stepped closer. The figure tilted its head. Fog creeped around its legs. And then it simply dissolved like smoke blown apart by wind. The body cam shut off. He grabbed a spare battery. Dead. Another. Dead. Whatever lived here hated technology. He fled outside. From every house he heard whispering, matched in tone, matched in rhythm, a single voice scattered across dozens of buildings. "Stay, stay, stay." Lights began turning off one by one. First a house, then another, then entire streets. The town wasn't collapsing. It was being erased. He ran toward his vehicle, but as he looked back, streetlights faded like dying stars. And then he saw him. Carter Miller, standing by the fountain, wearing the same uniform, face exactly as in his 1998 photo. But the eyes, pure black, like holes cut through reality. Miller raised his hand, not naturally, jerked upward like yanked by invisible strings. He spoke, voice layered with several tones. "Sheriff, you shouldn't have come back." Then figures emerged from the fog behind him. 148 of them. All the missing residents, all standing still, all waiting. They didn't walk, they glided. 8. The last choice. Hargrig bolted toward his car, but the back door ripped open. Hands, fog-shaped, human-sized, grabbed him, trying to pull him toward the dissolving town. He slammed the door, floored the gas, and sped down the road. In the rearview mirror, the town melted. Streetlights dimmed. Houses crumbled into gray dust. Fog figures stood motionless until the last structure faded. Then they too unraveled into nothing. Hargrig kept driving until the highway straightened and everything went black. He passed out. 9. The evidence that shouldn't exist. They found him at 7:13 a.m. Car parked on the shoulder. Sheriff conscious but disoriented. Body cam recording only 17 minutes of pure black screen. Doctors blamed exhaustion, trauma, a stress-induced hallucination. But when Hargrig removed his uniform at home, something fell from the breast pocket. Deputy Miller's badge. The very same badge from the station, only now the back had a fresh carving. If you hear yourself calling, don't answer. 10. What happened after? 2 weeks later, Hargrigg was forced into retirement. The Greystone Valley case closed again. Maps of the region replaced. Highway S-17 does not exist. But one thing remains. Every few months, on fog-heavy nights, an old department radio stored in the evidence vault picks up the same faint transmission on call sign 3A27. Sheriff, they found the town again.